Hi and welcome to my channel. So if you trained overseas as a nurse, midwife or nursing associate, there are exams that you need to write and pass with the required grade to work as a nurse in the UK or whatever role it is. And so there's been an ongoing investigation where thousands of nurses were found to have been involved in fraud in getting these exams and these certificates. This is an update regarding the state of these nurses and what the NMC, which is the Nursing and Midwifery Council in the UK, has now said about the ongoing investigation. Look, this is something that I'm a huge advocate when it comes to nursing, moving overseas, coming to the UK, and all of that. But you need to make sure you're doing things the right way. Because as a nurse, not only do you have a duty of care towards your patients as well as your colleagues, but you also need to be of good character. Otherwise, you may be at risk. And so, in today's video, I'm going to be telling you what the update is regarding these nurses and what the NMC has decided. In fact, a good number of these nurses have already been sacked from their jobs in the UK because they were already employed, and they're just kind of waiting, and many are currently worrying that they may be deported back home. So if you're new to my channel, you're obviously welcome. If you're new here, as usual, I appreciate your time. And so in today's video, I'm going to be giving you all these details and also saying that, doing things the right way, like I always say, it's very difficult for many people, but it is the only way. You need to do things legally. No matter how tempted you are to feel that there are shortcuts to take, you should not just let that remain as temptation. That's what I'm trying to say. So if you haven't joined this family, take this opportunity to hit the subscribe button below so that you're the first person to be notified every single day when I drop a new video on here. And also, you're going to find my contact details, by the way, in the comment section. If you need to reach out privately, you need that one-to-one support with transitioning into nursing, getting visa sponsorship jobs in the UK, getting jobs to work for the NHS, you're wanting to move with your beautiful family to this country, you're looking to go through the legit process, obviously, doing all the necessary exams and interviews and applying for jobs, then I'm your girl. You're also going to find my newsletter, by the way, in the comment section. It's completely free. You drop your name and email and you're part of that newsletter. It shouldn't take you 20 seconds to join, and I send that info directly to your inbox. You're not reliant on the YouTube algorithm for such vital information that is crucial for your personal and professional development. So what do we know so far? So this particular test center is in Ibadan, Nigeria. So this is where this all originated, and there was suspicion that about 1,900 nurses and a few midwives had been involved in fraud. The reason is that there's this exam which is called the CBT, that is a computer-based test that all overseas nurses need to write and pass before they can work as nurses in the UK. And what really causes suspicion, and by the way, which it was the test center itself, it was somebody from this test center that kind of hinted the NMC in the UK to say that they were suspecting that there was fraud going on within the center. So immediately this was escalated, that center was shut down, so it was closed, and those nurses concerned were contacted because they provided the NMC with their details. So I know that there are many people that watch these videos that are involved with this investigation in one way or another. What I will say is, you need to make sure that you're checking communication, that is specific to you, and saying what the decision is regarding your specific and unique circumstances. Because this is a very sensitive topic. This is something that, like I said, quite a few care homes in the UK that recruited nurses that were involved in this process already sacked the nurses. Some other nurses are currently worrying whether they're going to be deported back home with their dependents. But again, fraud is something that is very serious. Personally, I think that anybody that is involved in fraud as a nurse, what is your duty of care? What is your competency? I mean, are you really a nurse? And there are those questions that are going to come on. And I know that there's a lot of pressure that comes on to us as professionals and that nobody's perfect. But the truth is, the basic exams you need to take, you've got to do that the right way. Because as we know, there's the NMC Code of Conduct, which is something that is very serious. I think that many people don't really realize the seriousness until they are in deep trouble. And that's when you know that in the UK, they're always recruiting, they're desperate for staff and all that. But look, they will make sure that you are actually sacked if you're found to be guilty. There will be no waste of time as far as that's concerned. And if you're somebody that you're watching my videos, I always like to say that doing things the legal way is the hard way. It's not easy, but it is the only way, especially if you're in a profession like healthcare, because once you're found out, you're done. You are done. And sometimes when you're thinking about your decision making, think about your family, think beyond now. Think about the future. What if they find out? What if they don't find out? But what is your competency? I mean, it's not even about hiding the things you're doing, but it's about doing things the right way, going through due process. Can you be trusted with medications? Can you be trusted with vulnerable kids, vulnerable adults? Can you be trusted with your patients? I mean, what does that show? And this is something that the NMC Council has spoken a lot about, saying, could we readmit these nurses onto the register? People that have been involved in this, what are the risks associated with letting them work as nurses in the UK? I mean, if you had to vote for this, would you vote to keep these nurses on the NMC register, or would you vote for them to be sacked? Leave a comment in the comment section. Let's hear your views, because again, it's a matter of evidence. There's been an ongoing investigation, like I said, and so the NMC hearing is officially starting in March 2024. So in a month's time, the NMC is going to be starting hearings. So these nurses will actually be questioned, as to how they actually went on with these exams and with these tests. I really think that it's a very heartbreaking situation if anybody finds themselves in this and they actually genuinely did the test. But what they have said is that it is very likely that there was fraud involved, because the length of time that these nurses took to complete these tests, it is not humanly possible in that length of time under normal circumstances, and that in the world is the first time in the history of the NMC and CBT that nurses have completed that exam in such record time. So again, it's about reflecting on your actions as a nurse. It's about thinking of the professional accountability that comes, and knowing that in the UK, the things are done differently. Things are slightly different. The culture in this country is very different from when it comes to being a nurse. And there are many things that you cannot be doing as a nurse, or if you're seen to be doing those things, you can get in a lot of trouble. And let me tell you, it is worth avoiding any form of trouble. If you're watching this, by the way, and it's our first time meeting, I'm Melvis. I work as a nurse myself, started as a carer. That's why I'm passionate about nursing, these opportunities, NHS, and all of that. And I've got my private career coaching program. I offer support to nurses, that want to work in the UK, people that want to transition into nursing, carers, visa sponsorship opportunities, career progression. Like I've said, you want to get into senior positions, you're just looking for efficiency. I've got lots of nurses that join the program for that accountability, to be able to make sure that they're getting the support they need to progress through the daily challenges that come with being a nurse in the UK. Because sometimes people are very excited about, I'm going to move to UK and this, but you forget that you're moving here to work and there are expectations from you. So if you want to find out more about my coaching program, obviously check the description box below, or the about section of this channel, and you're going to see more information about our program. If you need to contact me, obviously check the comment section below. You see my contact details. If you have any concerns about your specific circumstances and you're involved in this investigation, I do wish you the very best. But if you've got questions, obviously your caseworker, and you need to contact them as a matter of urgency if there are any concerns, because the hearings will be starting in March of 2024. Like I said, I do empathize with all the colleagues that are involved in this, but I'm really hoping that other people learn from this and make sure that you're not involved in any illegalities. I do appreciate your time, and check out this video here.